Noah fisted his hands and backed Cheryl up a step and got in her face. "Say that again, and I'll toss you off this ranch." He'd lost his mother and John. Annabelle was the only family he had left in this world. And today, of all days, he refused to let anyone tell him Annabelle and he weren't family. Cheryl held her hands out to her sides. "I didn't mean anything by it." "Then why say it?" He stepped away, giving her space and him a moment to rein in his anger. Cheryl appeared lost for words. "I suggest you head for the church. All of John's friends will pack the place in no time. Annabelle and I will be there soon." Cheryl tried to reach him again. "Everyone loved him." Noah grinned and shook his head. "People respected his talent with horses and admired his business skills. Loved that cantankerous man? Some of them. The ones who knew him well." Annabelle stepped down the stone entrance to the house, stood by his side, and gave Cheryl an appraising gaze. "So, you're back." 3 words that conveyed how much Annabelle disliked Cheryl. Noah shook his head. "Sprite, Cheryl just came by to offer her condolences. That's all." Cheryl tried to say something, but Annabelle cut her off. "It's time to go. You promised. Today, you and me." "You and me, Sprite. Always." He swore, knowing she needed the reassurance. Cheryl hooked her arm through his and prompted him to escort her to her car. "Whatever you need, Noah, I'm here for you." She rubbed her hand over his chest and smiled invitingly up at him. Thanks." He didn't acknowledge the underlying offer in her words. Annabelle climbed into the waiting limo, taking them to the service. He followed her a moment later. The driver closed the door, leaving them in the plush interior. He dreaded today and tried not to think or feel. But faded memories of his mother flooded his mind. He wished he could remember her smile and the sound of her laugh. Soon he'd forget the sound of John's voice and the twinkle that came into his eyes when he appreciated a beautiful woman walking by. "You're quiet, Noah. Are you thinking about Dad?" "Remembering all the times he spotted a pretty girl." He gave her a half-hearted smile, trying to keep things light. He didn't want today weighted down with somber thoughts and talk. John would want them to remember the good times, revel in life, and not drown in death. He'd get that sappy smile and his eyes would light up. She grinned, knowing as Noah did that John never set out to hurt any of those women. He just appreciated their many attributes and took what comfort they offered to soothe his troubled heart. "I'm going to miss it. Him. I don't think I'll ever go to a rodeo again and not anticipate one of his elbow jabs to check out one of the riders." Annabelle grabbed his arm. "Remember how he'd drag you over to the barrel races? God, how he loved to watch those women ride." Noah remembered. Reading his thoughts, she added with a backhanded slap against his chest, "He liked the girls from the Wild Rose Ranch the best." Her grin spread from ear to ear and her eyes shone with mischief. "You know what they say about those girls," she coaxed, her smile infectious. "What do you know about those girls?" he asked, knowing full well she'd heard the rumors the women worked for the illustrious Nevada whorehouse. "I'm not a kid anymore, you know. I've heard things." "You just close your ears to things like that." "Don't tell me Dad had to drag you kicking and screaming to watch them ride." Lucky for him, he didn't have to answer that loaded question. They pulled up to the entrance of the church, and the driver opened the door for them. A small crowd gathered outside the doors leading into the church. "It's time to say goodbye, Sprite." "I'd rather stay right here and talk about—" He slapped his hand over her mouth, something he'd done since she was a kid when she tried to rile him with her outrageous outbursts. "Let's go." Her lips vibrated against his hand with her giggles. The trip down memory lane and her infectious laugh eased his heart. Something he didn't think possible today. He loved her for it. He didn't care what blood or a piece of paper said. She was his sister in his heart. He stepped out of the limo and held his hand out to help her exit. When she stood with him and saw the people gathering in front of the church, she hesitated, then stared up at him, her eyes earnest. "Do you think he was happy?" "I think he was like most of us. Happy with many aspects of his life, but wishing things could have gone better in others. Being a father and working the ranch made him happy." "Never found his true love," she said sadly. "I like to think he loved my mother, and after